Where are you talking to me from? Where are you?
Yes, there we go. Thank
How
you,
you
Jeff.
doing? Hi, Ben.
All
How
right.
are you,
Thanks a
Ben?
lot for joining the juniors golf community. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being available to the parents and the juniors in this community. It's an honor for us to have you.
My pleasure, Ben.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Jeff, you're a master professional, and that in itself, it's a big honor for us to have you. You're the CEO of St. Francis Links. Some call you Santa Claus, some call you the director of fun. So much that we're going to talk about. You're welcome to introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, and listen, Ben, I was born in the Midwest, United States. I came on a 3-year contract to Fancourt as their first golf director 35 years ago, and I
Wow.
never looked back. Married a South African. We've been together 26 years married, and and I think I hired her then, and I work for her now. So it's okay. It works well.
Yeah, and that's actually my first question. What made you fall in love with South African golf, and what has kept you here all these years?
It's interesting. Probably the first South African I met, or the first three, were Gary Player, John Bland, and Ernie Els.
Wow.
And I actually met Ernie in my third month at Fancourt. He had just missed his card by a shot, I think, in America, and he was playing in our first tournament. And I think he was 21, 22, something like that. About then, he didn't speak much American, mostly Afrikaans. But we became good friends then. And here's the funny thing: I'm hosting Els for Autism in an hour and a half's time here at St. Francis Links.
Wow, today. Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so our relationship spans over 35 years. My time with Mr. Player also spans 35 years. Of course, we lost John Bland, but he and
Yeah.
his right played right through into his senior tour years, played right through the tour. And so I've always had a good relationship with tournaments. I've always loved tournaments. I've loved being with the pros. We're staging the PGA Championship in 2 weeks for the fifth time here, and we'll have a good field. But I think what really attracted me to South Africa and what kept me here, obviously the climate's not too shabby. I've always been on the coast. I come from a part of America, Iowa, where it got hotter than hot in the summer and colder than cold in the winter. So, when you can sit here and average, whatever you want to talk Fahrenheit or centigrade, I mean, our temperatures don't change by more than about 15 degrees.
Yeah.
And, and then I think I fell in love with the people. And obviously, I got involved with golf, obviously teaching at Fancourt. In my job there, I was teaching a lot more. I was involved with junior golf. I had Louis Oosthuizen on two of my national teams when I was managing the Southern Cape team. Gracie, Brandon Grace grew up at playing a lot of his golf at Pazula when I was there. So I think the golf side of this, even the cricket side of South Africa, I fell in love with. I don't know what happens in the scrum, but I'm pretty good at rugby now too. But I think it's the country, the people, the climate. I think South Africans punch above their weight. I mean, it's just been stated that we're the fourth best sports country in the world
Wow.
in terms of accomplishment, and that's across the board: men, ladies, juniors, seniors, um, and that's all sports. So it's an amazing country, and I'm enthusiastic about it.
Fantastic. Sure. It's just an honor listening to that, and yeah, we're all so proud, and then obviously that we can actually call you now a South African as well. So that's awesome. And then you've seen golf evolve in so many ways. What's
Hmm.
one change or development that you believe has had the biggest positive impact on the game?
Well, we're blessed to have some great teachers. There's no doubt. I mean, I've got Nico van Rensburg here with me right now. He's got Daniel Bennett and Christian Moss, who just carried us to the Eisenhower Cup. They both play where I was from, the University of Texas. They're world beaters, and they're going to be. Um, um, Now I forgot what you asked me, but I could probably just ramble on about anything forever. Uh, what did you ask me?
Yeah, the development that you believe
Oh
has
yeah.
had the
Okay.
biggest
Sorry.
positive impact.
While I was still at Fancourt, they started the Els Foundation in conjunction with Dr. Plattner. And I think that the foundations that have been established, I was talking about Nico and his little stable of kids. Louis Oosthuizen started his own foundation, and Aldrich Pockeder and others have kind of walked that walk and come from there. But we're gifted to have the kind of teachers we have. In the Southern Cape, we've got Roelof Roelofse, who's always been up for national awards. He's always been very active with junior golf. And I think juniors in South Africa are given the opportunity. I think the Golf RSA, I think our local provinces all have pretty strong junior programs, a lot of activities, obviously focused around their holiday times where they have tournaments. And it's competitive from a young age. I've got a 15-year-old here at St. Francis Links that's on the national side with Golf RSA. He's a world beater at 15.
Yeah,
I've got another one that's about 12 that's coming up as well. But they've got so many idols to look up to.
yeah,
The golfers that South Africa has produced through the years are just phenomenal, and they just keep coming.
yeah,
So I think if you're a junior golfer like your son, you talk about once it bites good,
yeah,
and off you go. And I think there's enough golf courses in South Africa. There's enough driving ranges. And even though now there's more off golf course golf than there is on course, they can play into a screen or they can play into a net or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
And they've got all the devices to look at their swings, to
And content.
model their swings, to copy swings, which is what we did when we were kids. We had the Arnie swing and the Jack swing and the Watson swing.
Yeah. And when you look at junior golf today, what excites you most about the new generation of golfers?
I think I've always been an advocate that if you want to be a good golfer and a golfer for a lifetime, you should understand the history of the game. And I think our junior golfers are well versed. I think that they're getting all round education, depending on who's teaching them. When they're growing up and they're little, it's not like you're going to throw them in the gym at 10. You better not. But I think you're going to find that sport and sporting schools are so strong that for the most part, like we did in America, we played most sports. We played a lot of team sports, and then you get to a point where that you're going to focus more on one thing. Then golf takes over,
Mm,
and like I'm going to refer to Nico again. I know he spends every afternoon with these kids. I know the guys that are in college call him. I know the coach at Texas calls him. And so again, I'm just going to focus on the fact that they've got so much opportunity here
yeah,
to learn and to learn from really good teachers. And we have got gifted teachers.
yeah. And then golf can be a tough mental game. What advice would you give juniors who struggle with confidence or frustration on the course?
Oh, isn't that a great question? I guess we've all through our time showed a little temperament maybe on the golf course. I don't think you can play golf without some emotion. I don't know if you have to be Tyrell Hatton and wear it on your sleeve. You don't have to be Patrick Cantley either and walk around like a robot. But uh, golf is emotional, and I think you just have to treat yourself uh, properly. You've got to be able to brush it off. A shot takes a second or two, and you can't walk down the fairway grinding on what you just did wrong. You've got to focus on the next shot and what you're going to do right. So
Mm,
I really believe that golf is about positivity. Um, excuse me, I'm a pretty visual guy, so I like to see things in my head before I do it. The Harmon family in America are great teachers, and I had the opportunity to work with them. And Dick Harmon, when he was coaching some of the best, he used to say the guy doesn't have great hands; he's got great eyes.
mm,
He can see the shot, he can visualize. So when we were kids, we were making up all kinds of stuff. We were doing the Mickelson back over the head stuff in our days, and just being creative and just trying stuff.
yeah,
So I think if you want to be an enthusiastic golfer, it doesn't do you a darn bit of good to get angry about it.
yeah,
You got to find a way to turn it on and turn it off.
yeah.
And enjoy the walk.
Well
Um,
said. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a massive gold nugget for our juniors. Thanks for that. And then you well known for your confident and engaging speaking style. What advice would you give junior golfers who might need to speak at a prize giving or in front of a crowd for the first time?
I've heard all sides of that. I've heard young guys that can just get up and roll, but in most cases, the juniors follow the script. You've got to thank your host, you've got to thank your sponsors, you got to thank your playing partners, you got to thank the superintendent. If you've had a good meal, you got to thank the chef and the pro. You just make a couple notes before you go up there. But I think if you really want to have fun with that talk, maybe highlight something in your thank you speech. You've got the microphone. I mean, I think the first time I talked in front of people was giving the rules before a golf tournament. I thought I was going to be sick. Yeah, I was nervous. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the confidence grows, just like the confidence grows in your golf.
Yeah.
I talked about my 15-year-old. At 12, he started to get too mechanical with his putting. I was like, "Do me a favor." I said, "At 12 years old, I figured I could hold it from 150. You're worried about 4 feet, pal. I mean, let's just go out there and enjoy the experience, enjoy the walk, and not become so technical about it."
Yeah. Wow.
Use your eyes. Again, I say use your eyes, see things in your mind, and just stay very positive.
Awesome. And then obviously the parents I wanna bring in. So for parents supporting young golfers, what's your best advice on helping their kids grow without adding too much pressure?
Drop them off and leave.
Okay, there we go. Parents, listen, drop off and go.
It's amazing. A lot of golf clubs are operated by committees, and a lot of times committee members aren't golfers. Your dentist is your greens chairman, and all of a sudden he's an expert on this and he's an expert on that. Parents are parents, and before I fell in love with my wife, I taught her. And when we didn't have a personal relationship, she was a pretty good listener. You understand where I'm going with that? So I think parents have to be supportive. I know they give up a lot. They give up a lot of time. They give up a lot of money to travel there to take their kids to events or to activities. It's expensive. The rules are changing a bit in terms of how young golfers can be helped. But I think I've seen all kinds of parents. I've seen parents who've destroyed their kids by being so overbearing,
Mm,
just destroyed them. And the kid's going down the fairway, and all of a sudden there's dad peeking around the tree, and he loses it. He's distracted by it. But you've
mm,
got other parents that keep their distance, share their support, share their empathy.
mm.
They can be consoling, they can be energizing, but they don't need to be critical. You
Yeah,
don't call your kid stupid because he didn't hit the shot right.
same,
He
yeah.
didn't hit the shot right. The best players in the world don't hit the shots right.
Yeah,
So, let's understand that the game is hard and mentally it's harder. So, if I'm a parent, I want to be enthusiastic for my child, but I also want to, I want to be supportive but not be dominant. Does that make sense?
yes. No, well said. A lot of value in that. If you could share one life lesson that golf has taught you, something beyond the game itself, what would it be?
Cheat at golf, cheat at life. If you're
Sure.
gonna if you're gonna if you're gonna break the rules to have a short term gain, you can damn well bet that when you get to 18 and you got the 3 footer that counts, you're gonna miss it.
Mm.
Golf is ruled by the golf gods, and I want them on my shoulder. I don't want them on my back.
Oh, that's
And
that's awesome.
you can read a person. A guy
Mm,
who actually bends the rules in golf or looks for the shortcut or whatever. He's probably bending the rules in life as well, and that's
mm.
not my friend. That's not the
Yeah,
guy I'm going to hang out with.
cool. That's very well said. And then your junior self, what would the one thing be that you wish you could tell your junior golfer self?
Um, I wish all these good golfers hadn't moved into my hometown every time we got to club championships. I mean, my worst one was this guy named Mike Muma. I'll never forget. I think I was about 14, and I thought my golf was electric. And he was the captain of the Minnesota golf team, moved into Jefferson as a lawyer, and just properly showed me how to play golf. And that broke my little heart. But no, I think as a kid, you still got to set goals, achieve them, set goals, achieve them, set goals, achieve them. I used to love to play games, and I still advocate to young golfers today and I'll give you two stories. The first one is throw 10 balls down beside the green. chip and put them in and count your shots.
Mhm.
And I mean chip and put them in. You might chip in a couple. You might one putt a few of them. But if you take ten balls and take 10 up and downs, you're pretty good short game. If you
Mm.
can get that ball up and in, 10 times or 8
Yeah,
times or 6 times, that's brilliant. But
yeah.
you will hone your skills, and 85% of golf is played around the green. My second story is a member who's pretty well known. He's a member of the R&A, good amateur golfer, Keith Simpson. And he has always kept records his whole life of 10 meters and in. And if he reckons if he can play less than half of his shots from 10 meters and in, he's pretty good. Now, if you work that out, that's saying that if I go shoot 80 and I can have less than 40 shots around the green, and that sounds like a bunch, but if I can have less than 40 shots, I'm probably going to break 80. Make sense?
Yeah. So
So
keep that
I like
step.
games. I like games.
Games.
I like
Yeah,
games that give you confidence.
awesome. Yeah, another gold nugget there for the juniors. All right, and then you've been involved in golf for many years. Can you share a fun or memorable story from your career that still makes you smile?
Well, geez, where would I start? I think I'm going to write a book called No Mulligans. It's going to be a little about a lot. But I think one of the funniest stories actually happened in my early years at Fancourt here in South Africa. I smuggled a bunch of those stick glow balls in my bag coming back from America, where you put a little stick in them and they lit up at night. And then we had a golf night and we had some fun with the members. I even had the caddies playing guitars and stuff on the course. And Ernie Els played with his brother Dirk. We had 3 clubs and a putter, and the balls went about 80%. So you had to kind of figure it out. Ernie and Dirk shot 33. Alternate shot, 3 balls and a putter. Have a nice day.
Wow, that's awesome.
That
Nice
was a
one.
pretty good highlight. And then
Yeah.
once we just traded clubs on the first tee, and he was playing Lynx Predators, early days, and I was playing with whatever, but obviously his were like telephone poles, and so I drew his clubs. Well, I got it off the first tee, but when I pulled the 5 iron from a second shot, it went about 40 yards right because I don't think the club ever returned to the ball. But
Wow, that's awesome. I remember the
some of my funny memories are with on the golf course as well. So
yes, of course. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for your time, for
my
your
pleasure.
knowledge, for being our master professional in South Africa, and really guiding so many of us in the industry. And we're looking up to you, and we really appreciate your time and being available to the juniors and the parents in this community. Thanks a
My
lot.
pleasure. Listen, I'll close with one thing. Don't ever stop learning. I realize AI is out there thinking for everybody right now. I haven't quite got my head around that yet, but you never stop learning, and you always have to find mentors,
Yeah.
and you always have to just keep reaching out in relationships. And I think golf breeds that.
Mm,
And because I was a good junior golfer, got to play with adults probably before my time,
mm.
and I've learned so much from the people that I've played golf with. So be interested and learn from the people around you, and set a good example. And then
Wow.
you'll be 90 like Gary going on 120 before he's done.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for that, Jeff. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
man.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure, pal. All the
Thanks a
best.
lot. Cheers.